Now, first of all, disclaimer, you cannot target fat. I know that we all really want to just like pick a place in our body and say, I just would like this to grow a little bit here and I'd like to shrink this off a little bit here. What we can do is increase that muscle. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of It Takes Grit. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can probably see somebody else in the frame right now. It is Alfie. Yes, I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what's been going on and actually our own personal experience of going through doggy cancer, chemotherapy, and all of those other things, because I think it's a really important thing to highlight, whether you know somebody who's gone through cancer or whether you just want to educate yourself. I have never known anybody to go through cancer, so this is my first experience and just understanding it a little bit better. But today, after I've given you a little recap about Alfie, we're going to be talking about one of the questions that I get asked all the time is how to lose belly fat. Now, first of all, disclaimer, you cannot target fat. I know that we all really want to just like pick a place in our body and say, I just would like this to grow a little bit here and I'd like to shrink this off a little bit here. What we can do is increase that muscle, right? So if you're doing glute exercises, you're going to perk that booty up. If you're doing ab exercises, you're going to grow your abs. But remember that it is that layer of fat on top that's going to be the ultimate decider whether you've got that six pack. Everybody's got abs, everybody's got glutes, right? But it's that layer of fat on top that determines, your body fat and how lean you are. So even though that is called how to lose belly fat with food, you can't target. I'm afraid I know you're just like, Rebecca, please tell me that there is a certain thing I can do or a certain food that I could eat that would literally eliminate my belly fat. But unfortunately, it's going to be a combination of the things that I'm going to go through today. But most importantly, just know that you can't target fat. But what we're going to be able to do is just show you and give you a few little tips and insights of how you can lose fat from all areas of your body and then increase the muscle in those areas where you're trying to get it a little bit more toned. All right, so first of all, Alfie. So Alfie, if you've seen some videos of him recently on Instagram, he's looking a little bit withered. He is looking a little bit old. So he was in remission from lymphoma cancer and they were still giving him chemo. And I didn't quite understand that method, but I kind of was like, I'm going to go with it. They're the doctors, they know what they're doing. And then he had chemo, and a week later, he actually went into a kennel for one night. Never normally put them in kennels, but just, didn't have anybody else to look after him right now at that time. And the next day, he was really sick. In fact, I had to take him to the ER. He spent 2 nights in hospital, and I thought that we were going to lose him. And what happened was, I believe he had the chemo, his immunity went down, so his red and white blood count was very low. He picked something up at the dog kennels, and he got a very high fever. In fact, he had 104 fever. And then, guess what? I took him back for chemo again a couple of weeks later. And literally to the week, the same thing happened. He started to shake. He started to just not feel very well. He's actually losing quite a bit of his hair. I'll give you a little tour of Alfie. You can see he's like looking a little bit patchy. And he's a lot more calmer now. He doesn't really bite as much. And he definitely loves more cuddles. So I'm taking him with me everywhere that we go right now because I just don't know how he's going to be day to day. It's always a little bit different. But one thing is I'm not going to be doing chemotherapy anymore. I bumped into this woman on the way to Atlanta, and she told me all about this company. It's called GetHealthyAgain.com, based in Alaska, and they help with cancer. And basically you get these elixirs. They're kind of like different types of drops. And we've got him a whole bunch of these kind of herbal stuff. My friend Candy Valentino also told me about some mushrooms, which we're going to start as well. So I will keep you updated on that journey. But today he's feeling good. He's just more tired than normal. He's a little bit more clingy than normal. And he's just slower. He's definitely started to drink more water. There was like 10 days he didn't drink any water, but he does have his favorite food, which has got a lot of fluids in it as well. So thank you for all the love about Alfie. You know that he's my everything. He's going to be 13 in December. So Alfie, thank you so much for coming on and joining us on this podcast. All right, so let's get started. We are talking about how to lose belly fat with food today. But remember, you cannot target that belly, okay? But what we can do is we can target our overall body and help us reduce that body fat. When we are lower body fat, we're going to look more toned. All right, so main cause of belly fat, right? We've got poor diet, a lack of exercise, lack of sleep, more stress, alcohol, and sometimes it's partly to do with the gender and the genetics as well, right? But we can really work hard to get the results that we want. So yes, genetics plays a part of it, and I did talk about that into how to boost your metabolism in one of our other food podcasts. So make sure that you check that out if you want to go a little bit more into detail about boosting your metabolism. But there's some things that you can do that are going to help you lose weight overall, right? One of the things to really cut out is highly processed foods. Highly processed foods are going to be really high, typically in the carbohydrates that are going to turn to sugar, right? And it's the sugar really that kills it. It's not necessarily the fat, right? We think like, oh my goodness, if we eat fat, but there are good fats, right? We want our good fats like our salmon, our avocado, our nuts. They're all of the good fats. But what we want to stay away from is those high saturated fats that end up turning into sugar. And that's really what creates us gaining more weight is all of the sugar in those high processed foods. So one thing that you want to start doing is just look over your whole calendar of what you eat during the week and just see like, where can I replace something? Is there something that has a better alternative to the food that I'm currently eating, right? So never to say that you can't have, what you guys like to call a cheat meal. I just say everything in life is moderation. But just think about, where could you make a few changes, even if it's just like 50% of your week. How can you make a couple of changes? And then over time, maybe you could change it up 60%, then 70%, 80%. It's not saying let's go cold turkey today. Let's see if we can change your diet by 50%. All right. So again, let's talk about products with a lot of sugar. That's really where you're going to gain weight. And, especially for females, we do kind of hold it around our midsection. All right, Alfie's going to sit right here. We hold it around our midsection. That's very normal for females typically. We hold it a little bit more in that tummy area. So avoiding foods that are high in sugar. Refined carbs as well. I mean, if you follow a very, very simple nutrition plan, if you guys have not already done the 5-Day Better You program, it's going to really help you. We have something very simple that's called 3, 2, 1, right? We have our tablets 3 times a day, our supplements, right? We have 2 shakes a day, 1 healthy meal. And the shakes are actually considered healthy meals. So they're actually full, complete meals. Couple of snacks in between, get 30 minutes of exercise in, and boom, drink lots of water, and you're going to have great results. So instead of thinking, oh my goodness, I've got to cut out, Rebecca's already told me, I've got to cut out highly processed foods. I've got to cut out lots of sugar, foods with lots of sugar. I've got to cut out refined carbs. Just take a look at your day and even your week, and even if you want to be really detailed, go into your month and just see where in your day could you just change something out. What are you having for breakfast? Is it like a bagel and some orange juice and some cereal, right? Maybe we just start there. Maybe we include a healthy meal shake for breakfast in the morning, right? And that's going to be the one thing that we change this week. So it's not about changing everything immediately, because you're very unlikely to stick to it. But remember, when you start to feed your body great nutrition, you're going to start to feel better. And as soon as you put like bad food into your body's going to like react and be like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? Even sometimes when I go out for dinner and I have foods that are maybe richer, or I have a dessert, or I'm drinking Prosecco, I can feel my stomach like getting seriously, seriously bloated by the end, right? That is because my body is just not used to it, because it's so used to eating healthy, clean food throughout the day. So as soon as you put something that is not that great for you in your body, right, your body's going to react. Your body's going to tell you, hey, this isn't really that great for you. And if you want to lose that body fat, you want to lose overall fat of your body, maybe it's because that you're getting ready for a wedding, or you're getting ready for a reunion, or you just want to feel better. You want to feel more confident in your bikini and your sports gear, right? Just making a few shifts at the beginning and then adding on to that is going to be an absolutely complete change, all right? So let's see what we can focus on, right? I know that we talk about all the things that we can't have, but let's see the things that we do get to focus on, right? So you want to focus on veggies, lean protein, and fiber, all right? Most people do not get enough fiber, and if you check out the BTS app, we show you exactly how many calories everything is, how much protein everything has, and how much fiber as well, all right? Alfie's probably like, hey, I'm ready for my dinner right now. You're talking about all of these yummy foods. I'm ready for my food. All right, Alfie, come here and sit down, all right? So focus on loading up with vegetables, like just making a few changes is going to reduce your body fat. It's going to increase your lean muscle. And remember, the more lean muscle that you have, the more calories that you're going to burn per hour. And so when you do have something that's not that great for you, your body's got a faster metabolism. It's actually going to burn that off faster because you have more muscle. All right, so let's stay away from the sugar sweetener drinks as well, right? Things like Coca-Cola and sodas and Fanta, all of those are going to be much higher in sugar than maybe just mixing up and putting some aloe in your water, or just drinking water, or getting some CR7 Drive, something that I use during workout, right? Maybe it's a lift off, maybe it's your BCAAs, maybe it's our collagen drink. I mean, there's so many amazing products that you could put into water that are actually going to give you benefits. And that's what I want you to think about when we're making these switches. It's not taking things away, it's actually adding. It's like, how can we add to your nutrition? How can we add to your health? How can we add to the longevity of your life? How can we add to your energy? Think about that. When you're fueling your body, it's not just about how to lose that belly fat. Yes, that's going to be a side effect when you start to eat healthy, but just really think about how amazing it is to feed your body great nutrition. It's all about those choices that you have. And then, of course, eating protein. I talk about protein all the time because protein is actually what's going to keep you feeling full, all right? Loads of people, when you've eaten some carbohydrates, 20 minutes later, you're like, how am I so hungry already? And if you want to lose body fat, you don't want to be eating all day because then your body's not going through that metabolism. Eating every 3 hours, with some protein in is going to build that lean muscle. Again, if you're more toned, you've got more muscle, you're going to burn more calories per hour, which is going to help lose that body fat and help lose the belly fat, right? And it's actually food that's going to help burn it off and help lose that belly fat, because we know, and you guys know this by now because I talk about it all the time, it's 20% is the fitness, but 80% is the nutrition. Now, a lot of people are going through this podcast going, this just makes so much sense. Obviously, I'm going to cut out the bad things and put the good things in. But it really is about not just cutting out the bad things. It really is about adding in the good things, the good nutrition that's going to help your body work more efficiently. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to want to do more, like working out. When you feel good in your body, when you have more energy, you want to work out. So yes, we're talking about how to lose belly fat here, but the bigger thing is, how do we feed our body good nutrition? And you're going to be like, Rebecca, these are all like so simple things. This is the stuff that you talk about all the time. How many of you have always thought like, well, there must be some secret. There must be like an easier way. What's this pill that she's going to tell us about? What's this certain exercise that she's going to tell us about? What is the secret to losing belly fat? Maybe I need to, go upside down and drink, celery juice. I don't even know, right? But the fact is it really is about simplicity, right? Don't overcomplicate it. If you want to lose weight, keep fueling your body with good food, nutritious food that is great for you. If you need a little bit more help with supplements, I suggest checking out our free 5-day Better You program. You're going to get a personal coach that's going to take you through the whole program, and they're going to give you a free nutrition plan at the end as well. So when you're thinking about, hey, how do I lose belly fat? Think about, how do I feed my body great nutrition that's going to help my whole body work more efficiently. Therefore, it's going to burn more calories because I'm going to have more muscle, and I'm going to feel better. I'm going to have more energy. When you have more energy, do you feel a little bit more productive? Yes. And when you feel a bit more productive, do you feel like you want to work out? Yes. So those daily things that you choose to do, the daily disciplines that you have, are ultimately going to help you with your results. And that's how we get to use food to lose belly fat, but not just belly fat from all over your body, because you can't specifically target where you want to lose fat from. So remember, keep repeating this podcast. If you're like, oh, I know that she keeps saying the same thing, but it's so true. Keep it simple. 3, 2, 1. Tablets 3 times a day, 2 shakes a day, 1 healthy meal, add in a couple of protein snacks, drink lots of water, get your 30-minute BTS app workout in, and boom, let's keep it simple so that you have a nutrition plan that you can follow forever. Remember, it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. And maybe there's somebody out there right now that is really struggling with their weight. Maybe they're struggling with their confidence, and they just need a little bit of a boost. You could be that hero in someone's life today just by putting it on your Facebook. Just put this on your Instagram. Just send it to a friend. Make it really easy for your circle of influence to be influenced by you. If you agree with this message and you're like, hey, Rebecca, I wish more people just knew this, you have a circle of influence. You might be like, well, I don't even have a big following. It doesn't matter. It's about impacting one new person every single day. And maybe there's someone out there that you've tried to say, hey, it really is as simple as X, Y, and Z, and they're just not quite getting it. Well, allow me to be that messenger for them, and I can help you, helping them get started on their journey as well. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for listening for today's It Takes Grit podcast. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram, the It Takes Grit podcast. And of course, leave us a review if anything that you've heard has been inspiring, helpful, or giving you a little bit more clarity on your life. My name's Rebecca Louise. I'm your host of the It Takes Grit podcast. Thank you, Alfie, for joining me today. You have been wonderful, and we'll see you guys on our next episode. Bye, everyone.